This week, art gets stolen, assets get stolen, and game codes get stolen. You're going to want to space run a galaxy away from the Last Leviathan, and I need a hero's guard. This is episode 97 of the Indie Game Riot.
You just stole my heart, Tech.
Indie Game Riot!
Everybody, this is Josh. We're here on episode 97 of Indie Game Riot. I am, of course, joined by Tech and Rev.
Hello.
You can see their blurry hands waving on camera. Because Skype sucks. But actually, the cameras aren't too bad this week. Well, if don't mind us as we're tired because we were started later than usual, 10:30 for those of you watching the recorded version. The live show started an hour later, and then on top of that, we had technical issues because, again, Skype sucks. So it's getting a little late here. But even though
we're 15 minutes past my bedtime at this point.
Even though on the outside we may look tired, we are full of enthusiasm and excitement for the indie games we're talking about. Trust me, it's in there.
Yeah,
just gotta
deep in there.
Just gotta dig in to the emotions there. Speaking of emotions, how is your weeks? Don't ask me how that connects.
Okay, I'm gonna say something that's gonna probably piss a lot of people off. Delaware sucks. Delaware sucks so bad, and no one there knows how to drive. Like, for real, no one does. It's scary.
Why were you in Delaware?
At the beach.
You know where you're from,
Delaware
right?
Doesn't have what?
You know where you're from, right?
Oh, I'm not saying the Maryland drivers are any better, but oh my god. You know, Delaware doesn't have the little ramps onto the sidewalk on the corners. They don't have crosswalks. Like, not everywhere. They do have them. But
do you need those in order to walk off of a sidewalk?
No, but you do.
I mean, unless you're handicapped.
When the drivers are like, oh, there's no crosswalk, so I'm just gonna fucking barrel through this intersection with no stop signs and no traffic lights, and oh yeah, there are 8 pedestrians and 4 dogs, but I'm just, I don't care, whatever, whatever happens, happens.
It's not really their fault. I mean, there's no crosswalk, so they're allowed to. It's you walk at your own risk.
An entire state of walk at your own risk. I think if we could move
horrible.
that over here to California, that'd be awesome. Like Darwinism as applied through traffic laws.
Everybody would die because California's every citizen of California has had the Californian government be like, you can't use this wood in your floors, you can't smoke those cigarettes, you can't eat these things, you can't do this.
Well, see,
Be safe, everybody in California. Breathe this really shitty air and don't drink the water.
I like crosswalks. I like that law because I walk with my kids and stuff like that. However, I wish it wasn't illegal to still run them down if they are walking when the light has changed. To not walk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because the high school kids here like to cross the road like they fucking own this city.
They do.
Yeah, they just go. They just go traffic full speed.
That's how bad the debt problem is.
They'll just go. And I'm just like, man, if you could just get plowed over and then talk about Darwinism, you know what I mean? That's just, I wish it wasn't illegal.
Yeah.
I don't want people to die, just maimed.
Just maimed, permanently crippled.
Just tap them. Show them that they really aren't the ones that are in charge. It's the 2
I'm not gonna lie.
Going 30 miles an hour down the street.
I'm not gonna lie. There are times where, like, I'm not gonna hit anyone, but there are times where people are walking across the street, like in the middle of the road, and taking their sweet ass time doing it. That I see them and I attempt to intimidate them by just kind of like. I'm not gonna graze him.
You're a shitty.
I just honk.
No, I don't. Because what are they gonna do? What's honking do? I'm trying to scare them.
Maybe trick them into spraining their ankle.
Yeah. See when I hear a honk, I think, I'm in the way of somebody who's about to careen into me, and I better get out of that way.
When I hear a honk, my first reaction is go, fuck you! So.
I guess we live in different places.
I guess so.
Man.
Oh, the Northeast. I don't
Rev.
know. California, everyone just wrecks and dies.
Yeah.
Speaking of California, Rev, how was your week in California?
It was warm, I think.
It's warm here too, but you probably enjoy this shit.
Yeah, I think it was warm. I haven't really been outside. We did a pool party thing today. I don't know why, but it was cold water. I think I might have hypothermia. And I've worked. Just lots of work.
Yeah.
I played a game that we're going to talk about in the future, and for the hell of it, I was playing some Warcraft 2, and I remember now just how shitty that game is. Like, it's the worst.
I mean, Warcraft is basically like fantasy Age of Empires, isn't it?
Sure.
I'm sorry, what?
I said Warcraft.
Anyways, the original Warcraft games are absolute shit. They keep in mind this came out before RTSs were really an awesome thing. So like I'm going through a nostalgia kick on. I'm doing like Command and Conquer from 1995, and I'm doing Command and Conquer.
Get you in the mood?
Yeah. Having Chuck on the show last time kind of got me going on that.
I wish actually, because Tim in the chat is here today, and Tim I think would have really appreciated Chuck, just because they're from that kind of they're both
era.
from AAA-ish, well actually yeah, both AAA games, and both from that, like, I don't want to say old school, but like that
old guard.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm also trying not to like offend by calling him old.
Pointed to be like, you're old.
Yeah. Not too far behind.
Speaking of Chuck, Zed got kickstarted successfully.
Yep.
I did see that. Yeah, good job, Zed.
They sent out a notification.
They got a huge burst at the end there, like in the last couple days.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad. So, how about you, Josh? What was your week's been?
The most exciting thing that happened was my daughter had a birthday, and she's just turned 4 years old. She had a superhero themed birthday per request. She also asked for hot dogs and clams. Yeah.
That's kind of an eclectic taste.
Yeah. She had just acquired the taste for clams recently, because I had clams on Father's Day, which wasn't too long before that, and then she loved it. So she asked for clams, and then her hot dogs. She loves hot dogs.
So were you the Hulk in the superheroes?
No one dressed up. We wanted to get before we had to deal with the extra payment for the car that we had before, we wanted to get someone dressed up and have an actual party, because all we did was the same thing we did last year. Was we had a party, but it was just in our living room with family and stuff like that. But we wanted to get someone dressed up. We just had superhero themed decorations, and she got a bunch of superhero action figures. I was showing, this is not really a superhero, but my mom, her grandma, got her a couple Power Ranger action figures too. And
Power Rangers are superheroes.
Yeah, it could be. Stuff like that, and a pretend doctor's kit. That's what she got. So now she's going around giving everyone shots. That's her favorite thing.
I want to.
Speaking of shots.
There you go. Speaking of shots. You know what we could give ourselves.
No. You could have just left it at speaking of shots, and then now the segue is
speaking of shots. I could just shoot you in the head.
True.
With an Indie News injection. There you go. There's the segue.
Are you bored with the same old games?
Yeah.
Why, then give yourself an Indie News injection.
Thanks, Indie Games.
This week on Indie News Injection, I bet you can't guess the thing I'm going to talk about first. It's Indie Revolution Expo. It is. Yeah. I know. It was a stretch, but that's actually, in fact, what I'm going to be talking about, because it's a reminder that, no longer reminding that signups are open, because they're not. They're closed. Everyone's set. It's a reminder that Indie Revolution Expo is happening in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, starting on July 15th.
Is the anxiety kicking in yet?
A little bit, actually, because I don't. It's like I kind of remember how we did it, but I'm like, how did we do it last year?
I remember exactly how we did it.
Yeah.
Speaking
we'll talk
of
about
which,
it during the meeting.
you know what? I'll talk about this now. So, my family decided to schedule the big family picture on that Saturday.
Yeah.
At 10, 2 hours away.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I should just not go, or if I should just be late on Saturday.
Should you get a cardboard cutout of yourself?
And that's not a bad idea. That isn't the worst idea. That would be funny too.
Yeah.
My family doesn't don't have senses of humor though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So we'd get a laugh out of it. And
yeah, exactly. I'd be
ones
like,
in
"Hey,
this
look, I'm here!"
relationship.
Haha. Yeah, but
like what time on Saturday?
So it's at 10 on Saturday, but it's like 2 hours away. So even if we went there, took the picture right at 10, and then I fucked off back here, I'd still be back by like noon.
You don't need proof of your good looks, Tech. You're fine without the picture.
We'll talk about it later.
I'll vouch for your attractive quotient.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, Indie Game or God damn it, IRX Indie Revolution Expo happening on the 15th. Be there. The schedule, by the way, the official schedule is up.
Yes.
So it's all
It
set.
looks great.
And it's packed full of games and panels. And we also, again, last year we had a giveaway. I think we did giveaways throughout all of IRX, but we had a big giveaway that we gave out at the end of IRX to like a random person that was involved.
Right.
I think we gave away like 15 codes.
Something like that.
We more than doubled it this year.
Oh,
wow.
So 31 games have graciously provided keys to do this giveaway. So one person is going to win 31 games, and of course you can still win, individual games during the IRX. But
wow,
it's a big grand prize. So be there for that as well.
31 games.
Yeah, there's a link to it. I'll link it in the live stream so you can see what actually we're giving away. Those of you who are in, I'm probably not gonna put in the YouTube link.
Yeah,
but you can still check out Twitter because I announce it every so
That's
often
like
too.
1/6 of my entire Steam library.
God, really?
Yeah.
That's
or wait,
sad.
No,
I only have. I'm just
third.
Now,
There's
just now coming up on my 200 mark.
Yeah.
Steam.
I think I'm over 300.
Okay, Josh.
Wow.
Yeah, because you get all the codes first.
Yeah, so there's the link in the live chat if you want to take a look at what code,
Hill, Space Zoo, Master Spy,
what games are being given away.
Mondrian I own, Core Grounds, awesome.
Wow.
Poncho, Punch Club, Skyrock, Turmoil, Dissonance, Crawl, Square Arena, Abrix, Goblins and Grottos, yay!
Mm-hmm.
I bought that one just recently as well. Rockabilly Beatdown and Sirius Online.
Also, here's a little sneak peek for everyone too. Turmoil, the Gamius, the people that made Turmoil, they're doing a panel talking about how they marketed the game, and basically they sent letters from 1899 to all the press and everyone, and they sent one to me. Has a wax seal and everything, and a letter from the American Letter Mail Company saying that they found this letter supposed to be sent to me from 1899, and I haven't opened it up because I promised them I wouldn't open it until the stream.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
But the letter I think is supposed to be all stained and looking like it's from 1899. They sent it all the way from the Netherlands. Yes, Netherlands.
Of course, it's from the Netherlands. Those Netherland people always go above and beyond.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to get that. I think there's a code in it too, but I'm excited to open it up. I did actually open up because it's in plastic. I opened up the plastic and looked at the white letter there. I didn't open up the envelope, but I opened up the plastic part because I was too curious. But it's gonna be a good time. So. Speaking of awesome game devs, Inky, who made 80 Days and Sorcery, those games have come out with, well, they came out with a scripting language for their games called Ink, right? And I think we covered that a while ago.
Yeah,
but now they actually have an actual editor for their script called Inky. So now it's even easier to make games like they make. If you're a good writer, someone who appreciates the multiple, decisions and multiple endings and sort of that sort of thing, now you could possibly make your own game like Inkle does.
Sweet.
Exciting.
I might have to check this out.
Yes. You know what's not sweet, Rev?
There's a lawsuit that didn't happen or was settled out of court. Basically, everybody's heard of No Man's Sky. It's a apparently fantastic game that a lot of people are very excited about, myself included. Unfortunately, they've been kind of locked in a trademark dispute because there's also a British television station called Sky. Apparently, they own the word Sky, and they've spent
It's the same.
Yeah. Because I'm going to think No Man's Sky, the video game, I'm going to somehow get it confused with the television.
With Sky News and Sky set-top boxes.
Yeah, I know the Sky Sports Network because I watch it.
Anyways. Yeah, so they are successfully marketing, sometimes I can see it happening correctly. They did file a lawsuit against Microsoft a few years back because Google's OneDrive was originally called SkyDrive, and I could see that one, like Sky News, SkyDrive.
Yeah.
That makes sense. No Man's Sky, the video game, I don't get.
I don't even get SkyDrive. The point of copyright is that if you're going to get confused, whatever. If you're going to get confused,
copyright's totally different.
Whatever. If you're going to get confused with something within your industry, SkyDrive and Sky Network.
It's not necessarily just within your industry.
The example I was given, I think I mentioned this before, was Apple. Right. Macintosh Apple. Macintosh Apples have been around far longer than Macintosh Apple computers.
Right.
Macintosh Apple computers is not going to get in trouble for using Macintosh Apple because it's not the same industry.
Macintosh Apple isn't a trademarked thing. It's a type of fruit.
No, it is. It's a brand of fruit. It's also, it's their type of fruit that they make, but it's called Macintosh.
No, I don't think you make apples the way you're I
was explained to this by a lawyer, and that's the example that they gave me.
Okay, I think it's one of those.
Anyway, No Man's Sky settled out of court.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, sorry, I'm feeling very combative today. I had my political choices called into question here. So yeah, No Man's Sky spent 3 years dealing with this in the background, and they can now safely say that, oh, fuck you, Sky News! No Man's Sky is still happening.
Apparently it was like a secret thing, too, until now.
Yeah.
Also, your
which is also probably why it took... It's also probably why they delayed the game by like a month. That's probably it.
I was thinking that, too, actually. That might be the reason why.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Speaking of not delaying things for a month, gosh, yes, now you can safely sell your universe simulator. Android has decided that they're going to jump on the early access Steam Greenlight bandwagon and allow apps before they're officially released. You have early access and beta testing apps available now. It's apparently a newer feature that they have finally put a process into place, and you can go into an early access, get access to those, install the game, test, leave feedback. You can even leave the early access system for those applications. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm wondering the turnaround on that, because Steam Early Access, if you buy it in Early Access, generally you have it upon full release. If you get into Early Access on Android, do you still get it? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it depends on what the purpose of it is. If it's because Steam Early Access is to allow devs to not only get feedback but also to be funded while they're still developing.
Right.
So whereas Google, just going to call it early access because I don't think it's actually called that, but Google early access or Android early access, I think might be more for strictly the testing purposes. So like, hey, I don't know if they're limiting how many people can do the game when it's released early, but I think it's more for, I may be wrong, but I think it's more for just the testing and the beta and stuff like that.
So the big thing that I'm getting out of this is that if you have an app currently installed, you can there is the possibility of having it have a beta version of like an update, I think, is what one of these things that they're adding in is. Also, I guess early access and beta testing on full apps that aren't quite released yet. It's a little bit ambiguous. I guess we'll have to sort of wait and see how it all plays out. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean,
no.
Come on. If you think about it,
I mean, have you guys been in betas?
I've been in a couple. I was in Heroes Guard beta.
Right. Do you get generally speaking a free copy after you complete the beta?
No.
Or right?
I bought it.
So that's what I'm thinking it might be. Is like it's like test out the beta. You can play it early and then buy it.
Beta. They make a distinction between beta access and early access. In their documentation, they do have a separated distinction between the two. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. You know what else is playing out?
DMCAs.
Yes, DMCAs, and this could almost be a discussion point. So I saw a Facebook post that was posted on Reddit from Trek Industries about their game Orion because Activision had filed a DMCA claim against their game, and Steam took it off of Steam, off of the marketplace during the Steam sale, and they're freaking out. Well, you gotta listen to the whole story. This is a story, and they had this really big post with the comparisons of the rifles that they say were part of the DMCA. And they're talking about how this is erroneous, and we need your help, and share this around, and signal boost this to the heavens. And
it kind of didn't work out in their favor.
Turns out they actually did.
Ooh.
So they actually did use the same assets for the auto shotgun and the auto rifle.
Multiple places. That's the thing. Like somebody pointed out, they were like, "No, it looks like this is a correct DMCA, filing because your gun models are taken from this other game." Now, granted, there are some times where like there's only so many ways that you can make an assault rifle. Like,
right.
These
are down to the texture. I saw the comparison shots of the guns.
So the ones that they showed in their Facebook post aren't the real.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
So they were just they were lying then.
They're actually lying to you.
And they have stuff like they took what was the T-Rex model from another game? Sound effects from another game. It was just like over again they did this, and
you know what kind of so I will say that there was speculation, just mostly hearsay, that there's a possibility that they acquired these assets through like a group of assets that they purchased on a marketplace or something, and they were thrown in there erroneously, and whatever.
But I mean the that many though. To be used in their single game, like that's a lot of coincidence.
And what's really unfortunate too is that I haven't played Orion. I've played Orion Prelude, which is I guess the prequel to this game, and it's pretty solid.
To be
fair,
like $1. To be fair, Orion Prelude had their entire armory in that game was taken directly from the game Natural Selection 2.
Oh my god.
Like, all of their assets for the armory in there. The Counter-Strike weapon sounds. They had a T-Rex render from Primal Carnage, and it's just like...
Where are these guys from?
Let's find out.
Spiral Studios?
Yeah.
No, it'd be
Game
Trek
Studios.
Industries.
Trek Industries. Because they're...
Well, no,
there
they
are
changed
certain-
their name. They changed their name to Trek Industries after everything that happened previously. Like, they used to be Spiral Game Studios, and then they kind of fell apart after a Kickstarter quasi-scam thing, and then a whole bunch of stuff.
The reason I'm asking is you kind of notice there are certain countries that don't really care about that kind of stuff as much.
Yeah.
And not to say like everyone like from those countries do that, but you know it's just like the whole like I mean for instance China, like that is China's thing to knock off whatever they want to because they don't care about U.S. copyright or trademark. So
Right.
you know and Russia
I
does
can't
that
tell.
from time to time.
I can't tell where they're from.
So,
Yeah, I'm
They're
looking for
pretty.
it.
This website, knowing what they've done, this website looks really shady. Because it's like they worded the website like a vector marketing website. It's like it's just vague enough to like seem real. And it is real, and it looks like a real website,
I mean,
but
they're gonna
it's
get
like
the shit suit out of them, I guess. So whatever. Although
Yeah.
I don't know how that works internationally, assuming they're international.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I can't find any information on where they're out of.
'Cause
I guess
maybe
we could
Russia.
check their. I guess we could check their Kickstarter.
I would assume that now that this is all coming out, that people are
Yeah.
going to hop on Activision's lawsuit. You know
Maybe.
what I mean? So
Well, no, it's just a DMCA. It's not a lawsuit yet.
they've made. I mean, I don't know how much money they made, but they've made money off of it, and therefore the people are entitled to a percentage. You know, of royalties.
well, yeah.
Chicago.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope. They're just.
They're fucked.
They're fucked. If they get sued, they're fucked. Well, good job. Whatever the fuck your names are now. You give Indie Games.
David Prassel.
You give Indie Game Studios bad name. So go fuck yourselves.
yeah. So you know who else is fucked?
Speaking of fuck,
A Ford dealership is fucked because they used art from Firewatch in an advertisement for the new 2016 Ford Focus.
yay! Come
And
to
it's
our
not-
freedom sale.
And it's not even like I totally see the why they picked it because it definitely works. Like it looks they did a good job of making the advertisement, except that it's most definitely obviously from Firewatch.
But
like
they-
it's the exact same image.
They claim that it came from corporate.
They claim that they got it from a advertising company who mass sent it out to multiple people. And
Okay.
those people claim that they actually got it from a wallpaper website. However, the developers
You can't
of
just take shit
Firewatch
from wallpaper website. That doesn't.
well,
make any difference.
apparently, they Western Marketing is the group. They emailed to say that the art was actually taken from wallpaper.info, and quote, we always use DMCA compliant sites when getting images. However, the link that he referred us to on wallpaperinfo.info merely offers up a way to file a DMCA complaint. It does not ensure that the site has no stolen imagery. Additionally, Flutterish, the guys that made, or Vanaman, whatever, the guys that made Firewatch, says no, the image that they used comes from elements from our old website, and we could prove that aren't on the wallpaper site. So,
That's kind of weird though, because if I don't know, that is weird. Someone fucked up. Maybe they didn't do it on purpose.
Well, no,
Maybe
it probably isn't on purpose. It's straight out laziness.
Yeah.
They don't check their shit. I mean,
there's something
think, though,
literally.
I know there probably aren't too many gamers.
Okay.
That are in that industry.
Right.
I mean, comparison, in ratio to gamers to not gamers.
Right.
But you would think someone out of the probably hundreds of people that viewed it from the point of picking it off the totally legit wallpapers. What was it? Info. Wallpapers.info. From that point to getting the flyers in the hands of the people that handed them out or whatever, or emailed them or whatever they did with this, that someone would have saw that and like, that's not
all right.
ours.
So here's a little bit of advice to all the people who are trying to make graphic design and advertisements for companies. If you have an image that you're going to be using,
make sure it's yours.
Upload it to like Imager or somewhere, and then copy the URL, and then go to Google, and then search by image, and then you paste the link from Imager into Google, and you hit enter. And if a bunch of shit comes up for other companies, you probably shouldn't use that picture. It's like 10 seconds.
Too. Yeah, like I said, it's straight out laziness. And
it's literally like 10 seconds to not absolutely fuck your entire world.
The other thing that's kind of messed up, though, is people pay hundreds, thousands of dollars for advertisement like this. And this company is just pulling its shit off of wallpapers.info for free.
Yeah.
And using it.
Yeah.
Hey, to be fair, if I could get paid hundreds, thousands of dollars to just like throw some text on a stolen wallpaper, I would do that in a heartbeat.
But that's like,
you kidding me?
The whole thing's just fucked.
Like, Josh, you can hire me. I will do contract work for IRX. I'll make a new IRX advertisement piece.
Now, are we gonna have to like
Prep's already got
host our own?
But he makes it himself.
Because there's also the possibility that company owns wallpaper.info and just uploads the images there, and it's like it's like a shell company. They went through the Panama Papers people, so they don't find it out, and like wallpapers.info is theirs, and they're like, we want to use this image, but we have to steal it. Okay, cool. Upload it on a wallpapers.info. We'll send an email out. You download it from there, and it's all clear. Yeah. It's like a VPN. It's just it's an art stealing.
Well, someone owes Camposanto some money for that as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
But some royalties.
You know who you shouldn't send your money to, Josh?
G2A.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Same thing. So yeah, speaking of G2A, if you don't know what they are a. I'm trying to think of it's like a. People are calling it
a game key reseller.
Yeah, game key reseller, but there's like another name for it. People are also calling it like a gray market seller. Whereas there's like regular retail and then there's black market.
It's eBay
it's
for game keys.
Well, eBay is still more legit than G2A.
Oh well, yeah.
So the problem here is that G2A they have a process in place to make sure that people don't scam other people. However, it's not completely efficient. And it's still very easy to scam people. And it's not that you don't get your game, initially, but what happens is a lot of people will steal credit cards or whatever. They'll purchase credit card lists from the deep web or something like that, and they'll use that to buy hundreds and hundreds of keys. So that's money not out of their pocket. That's pure profit, and then they sell it for like half the price of what it's being sold on Steam or something.
Yeah.
And then they make
and then when the credit card company is like, hey, this is a fraudulent charge, then all of a sudden that money
gets revoked.
Yeah. It's not just is it the keys getting revoked, or is it just literally the devs losing money?
Both.
It can
be just the devs? It can be.
It can be both. A lot of people are revoking the keys,
and that's what brings up to another what the main issue that we're going to be talking about is about devs losing money, is that they don't see a cent of any of these keys, the money that goes towards these keys. There's no royalties. They don't even know about it half the time.
So
basically, go ahead.
I see G2A like on principle as being like, hey, I bought this DVD 5 years ago, back in the old days when you bought physical media, and And then, one day you're like, okay, cool,
You saw it at
garage
yard
sale,
sale,
whatever.
yeah.
And then it's just a bunch of tapes. And it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, that tape's like $5. That tape's like $10. I like that tape. It's, better shape. And people buy those and you put the money in your pocket.
And that's basically what it is. And that's
what it wanted to be.
In that way, it kind of, it's legit as far as legality goes. Because what happens, people buy Humble Bundles and, they want all the games except for like one or two of them. So they don't have anything to do with those keys, so they sell them for a few extra bucks. And that's how it was supposed to work. But that still hurts devs. Even in that legit way, it still hurts the devs because they don't see any money from that and they get undercut.
And if the keys end up being stolen and the dev loses money on that, they're losing money.
That too,
essentially.
So what this all comes down to is that Tiny Build, and you've heard them before, and we have like an affiliate link with them on our website. So and we cover a lot of their games. They're a pretty good indie publisher. Tiny Build has basically had enough of it, and they posted this big thing and sent it out a bunch of press and all that sort of stuff, talking about how they lost what they claim. I'm not gonna. This is what's the word? I can't think of the word. Allegedly. Have lost $450,000, a little over $450,000 worth of games,
right?
And that's at retail price. However, if you were to look at the price, the total value of G2A transactions, it was a little under $200,000. So it depends on how you look at that. And that's just out of the three main games that sell: Punch Club, Party Hard, and Speedrunners. Those are like their top sellers. So.
But the flip side to that is, even through Humble, the devs still get money.
Yeah, that too.
So we're looking at three possible distribution platforms here. We're talking about scavenged from bundles. We're looking at fraudulent credit card charges
and people claiming to be YouTubers or press or something like that, getting those keys and then sending them that way too. That was the other reason.
Right. So, or from giveaways, that sort of thing. So you have three possible vectors for these keys to end up in G2A, and then if they come from a legitimate one, some of those keys might actually be legit, and the devs would get some money out of the original purchase for that. But if you're buying a code for Punch Club on Humble Bundle, and they happen to be part of a bundle, I spent $12 the last time I was on Humble, so the devs might have gotten a fraction of that. But then I turn around and resell the Punch Club code for the going price on G2A, which is roughly $8.75. I'm now making money off of the devs who may have gotten a couple of cents.
It's essentially game scalping, almost.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a perfect way of putting it.
It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar.
And yeah.
So to continue with like what Tiny Build was going on about, and they claimed they lost all this money, and of course G2A, feeling the PR hit that ensued afterwards, was like, hey, fuck you, we're doing it right, basically. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
So, and they went back and forth releasing like press statements and things like that. And then Tiny Build released a thing saying, here's some solutions that we would like from you. Because G2A basically, the other thing that's shady with G2A is that in order to protect yourself from this scams and theft and that sort of stuff, is to pay them for a service,
right?
Which is basically, what's that called? Racketeering? Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
That's basically racketeering.
Can I also mention that they released a very aggressive press release referring to Tiny Build in a very negative light, and we're basically trying to discredit them.
Yeah. No, that's why I mentioned they were going back and forth with those sorts of things.
It's like obviously we're on Tiny Build side, not just because we have an affiliate link through them, but because we actually do like the games that they make.
Yeah.
And I genuinely trust those guys. They haven't caused me to lose trust. And the way that G2A is responding to all of this is kind of
defensive.
Weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's like they wouldn't be acting this way if they didn't know that something was wrong.
In that press release, they gave Tiny Build an ultimatum. They said that they won't help them unless they pay for their service, and two, give them a list of all the keys affected within 3 days.
Oh my god! But you know how that is impossible, because Tiny Build in their first article on their website is talk about how they don't know which codes are which, because if they were gotten from fraudulent credit card charges or bundles, there are legitimate codes within that, and they can't just blanket ban everybody.
The fraudulent credit card things, they can track those. The problem with that is that they don't have the manpower because they're small. Yeah.
And then
house.
bundle issues.
But the other thing is, like, yeah, they give keys to press, and like packs of them, get sent out at a time. Yeah. And they can't just cancel them because there are people that are using them that have them legitimately, like you said.
Right.
So they're like, that's bullshit. And then that's when they went through and gave their solutions. What they wanted from G2A, let's see, blah, blah, blah. Mutual benefit. As everyone knows, there's currently no way for a company to make a benefit from marketplace. I'm trying to read through their thing.
Well, while he's doing that, okay.
Solutions to, they want to see minimum pricing, so they want to be able to have like their own little dashboard where they can be like, hey, look, any games from us cannot be sold for less than this, and then they get a cut. They also want, speaking of cuts, they want a revenue share, or to be able to opt in to just not have their keys sold on that. And then after some more PR nonsense for G2A, people getting pissed and taking it out on them, they finally came and maybe made a little bit of a step forward as far as a truce is concerned, in saying that they will start to give royalties to the developers.
No.
But this
is it's a slap in the face. 10% of the sales of their products on G2A. 10%.
Yeah,
but like that's a that is
in a perfect world, some of that money has already gone to the devs because somebody bought the game. I can understand why, in excluding even just pushing all of the fraudulent credit card charges.
If you're going to give that argument, then GameStop's just as bad. With
I disagree with GameStop as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, the tax argument, if the whole thing where someone bought it already and then they shouldn't get the profit from the other thing, GameStop's just as bad because they do the same thing. They don't send any kind of royalties for reselling the used games. They get that 100% profit. That's why they push that so much. So it's the same kind of issue.
But even with that, like I still come down on it's a slap in the face. I mean, if Tim gives IGR 100 codes for his game, and we have the 5 or 6 of us that we use for our play testing and whatnot, we still have 95 codes, and we go and resell them. Boss 101 being, we'll say it's $20. We sell it for $15. To undercut on Steam or whatever marketplace it ends up being, and then he gets 10% of that. Let me just bring up some quick.
For $8, 10% is what, 80 cents?
$15 times 95. That's $1,500 that we make, and he gets 10% of that. So $140.
Yeah.
Like, do you not see that?
No, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like that,
especially if developers are sending out batches of many codes.
Yeah, or even because I mean it's not unknown for them to do that. I mean we're a small enough organization. When somebody sends us a batch of codes, generally speaking, like we get what, 5.
Max.
At most, yeah.
At most, and that's more than enough for us to do it, and as well as maybe have a couple for a giveaway at IRX or something. But if we were a larger organization, I don't know. I'm assuming the Polygon or Kotaku or whatever, they get big chunks of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hey, here's 30 keys.
And you also have to consider too that there are not a lot of YouTubers, but I know that there have been a few YouTubers who have been called out for actually getting keys from devs and then turning around and selling them straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of people who selling them straight up, because it's not even just that. There's actual. Speaking of Humble and things like that, Humble's legitimate and they do everything right.
Yep.
But there are companies out there that don't, that sell keys like Humble in bundles. I think they named like three companies that they know don't do that. It was like Steam, Humble, and I think Bundle Stars.
Indie, there's a couple others that they work with.
Yeah. But other retailers, there are actually retailers out there, like actual like businesses that
Indie Game Stand
that go and Indie Game Stand was the one.
Indie Gala, Bundle Stars,
There are actual businesses out there that say, hey, sell your stuff here, and then we'll turn around and sell it on G2A. Now, Tiny Build, I think they go through pretty rigorous like, hey, we don't really know you, so we got to see some legitimacy from you. But
right.
Some devs who don't have publishers or some smaller publishers might not really have that. They don't have that ability to just weed out the imposters or whatever, as well. So it happens. It sucks. So that the other thing is. That I just want to point out is that G2A, like one of Hitbox's things, and this is a credit to Hitbox, since we stream on there. Hitbox, one of their incentives for like subscribing to a channel was that you would get a free G2A gift card, and they no longer do that.
Yep, I actually checked that today. I was like, are they still doing that? And they don't. Which is great.
I checked that too a while back when I first heard this. I was like, now I got to go see if they, because I'm going to turn that option off pretty soon, and it was gone. I was like, oh, good for Hitbox. For not doing that. Although I wish they would actually provide another incentive that wasn't G2A. Because it's just nice to give people rewards for supporting people like us. But, this whole thing's nonsense. Go help. Go ahead. Dominoes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just...
So go support Tiny Build. If you buy from G2A, maybe consider stopping.
By the way, they didn't explicitly pay us for this, by the way.
No.
I know it might sound like they did. They didn't.
No. I was talking to someone from Tiny Build about having one of them come on to talk about it. They've been pretty busy, but if this is going to be an ongoing thing that needs to have pressure constantly put on it. So maybe sometime soon we'll be able to get someone from Tiny Build to talk about it. The guy who actually put this on their website, by the way, was Alex Nichiporchik, who's one of their PR guys, and also, he's not.
He knows what he's doing.
He's
the PR guys at G2A don't.
He's not the PR guy. He's the CEO who does a lot of PR.
Mike
Rose was actually the PR guy, but he actually just recently got hired by Ripstone, who did Zombie Vikings.
Cool.
Well, they published Zombie Vikings, but anyway, that's a lot of industry nonsense that no one cares about at this point in time. But you know what other people do care about?
They care about getting angry and running into space and starting a riot.
This week on Starting the Riot, we have a game that takes place in space. And if you haven't heard Tech say it like 10 times by now, it has to do with running, has to do with space in galaxies. It is called Space Run Galaxy. Space Run Galaxy by Pass Tech Games. Actually, God, what is the publisher's name now? I freaking can't remember.
Oh, I just saw it.
Yeah,
Focus Home Interactive.
Focus Home Interactive, which is actually a pretty big publishing company. But it is an indie game. It's just, we went over this before with, like, I think it was Transistor and WB Games, but it's an indie game. Space Run Galaxy basically is it's kind of like a tower defense It's basically what it is, but a lot cooler. Your job is to take cargo from one place and deliver it to the next. Before you leave, you're able to, based on like the money and resources that you have, you can construct your ship into different shapes, whatever strategically, so you can protect the cargo, because if you get shot, it could get destroyed. And as you're flying there, you build guns and shields and
oh my god,
propulsion things along the way.
Yeah,
while you're flying. So, and you
I've
see in the
played this
gameplay
game
here.
before.
You see in the
I have
gameplay
played
here
this
that
game
it
before.
tells you where the enemies are coming from. They can come from any direction. So you kind of have to make sure that you put your guns and stuff like that in the direction that you need to defend yourself. Because they don't rotate past that field of view that you see there, with like the blue cone of viewing.
Yeah. Were these guys was this game at IRX last year?
No.
Because I've
believe
seen
so.
this. I feel I played a demo for this or something.
Well, like
Maybe
I
it was
said, I
like
was
on a
thinking-
Kickstarter or.
I couldn't find it, but I was thinking that this might actually be. If it's not a sequel,
It is a sequel.
It is a sequel,
The
yeah.
original was called Space Run.
Yeah.
Space
Made by
Run.
the same people and published by the same people. Currently on sale on Steam for $374.
There you go. So that you might have seen that at some point. The
Maybe
first game.
that must be it.
But the game is pretty addictive, and I'm not entirely I'm not really sold on a lot of like tower defense types things. It's just not my thing.
This sort of puts
But
a
this is a
different
lot of fun.
spin on it.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun, and the other thing that's cool too is that whoever wrote it had a good sense of humor. It's pretty good dialogue between characters. Like the guy who's like your boss, who I think was the main character in Space Run, is like that manly man who has like this huge ego type of thing.
Okay.
So a lot of that kind of comes off that way, and then the dialogue between, like your character doesn't speak, but you have like a sentient AI that helps you, pilot your ship, and she does basically all the talking for you. So like the banter between him and her is pretty funny, or any of the other characters that you like do missions for. So it's a really good time. I ended up not losing the level, but I lost. Like I got mad because I was trying to be perfect, and I was like, well, fuck it, because I lost this big piece of cargo. I was like, I'm pissed. I'm done.
I think that's actually one of the complaints. I think I read a review where this guy was just like, yeah, I played a little bit of it, and I like to complete games, and I'm not going to be able to do this one, so I'm just going to uninstall it and not play it anymore.
So yeah, it's challenging, and I didn't really even get that far, but it's a good game when you lose and still have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's other bonuses and things like that too that you get for like doing it fast enough, because at the bottom there's like this little line that shows you where you're at, and then compares you to like the times that you can beat for like bonuses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you build more boosters, then you can go faster and beat that time. But then you have to make a decision to do that, or build your guns instead, because it takes resources as you're doing that. Plus, not only does it take resources, but it takes space on your ship. So. Do you have any questions? Oh, I should tell you about Space Run Galaxy.
$19.99 on Steam. Currently $16.99 for the Steam Summer Sale.
You can do it for me too.
It is single player and multiplayer. It's got full English as well as subtitles for French, German, Spanish, and Russian.
Oh, and it's got a cool upgrade system too. I just forgot about that because I saw it on the gameplay.
Yeah.
Cool upgrade system and good music. There was something else I was going to mention. Now I can't remember. This is getting to me. But anyway,
Windows only.
The point is, this is a really good game. Go buy it. Good job, Pastec Games.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's pretty much it. Space Run Galaxy.
Space Run
Go
Galaxy.
check it out.
You know what we're going to run to now?
run to our mommies because it's oh man, I'm sorry. I was gonna make a thing about the game, but whatever. It's gonna be really scary, but we're going to the peep show.
If we run to our mommies for the peep show, that will be incredibly scary.
Yeah, no, because I'm like, oh yeah, it's like Cthulhu and stuff, and
it's not.
And I'm like, oh yeah, run to our mommies because the monsters will be scary at the peep show. But then I'm like, oh,
it's not Cthulhu.
It's Leviathan, Cthulhu. It's all that style.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Are you sure you're on the right game?
Yeah, I am.
All right. It's Peep Show.
Please give all your attention to Early Access.
This week on Peep Show, have you ever thought, I really want to play Besiege, but I want to do it in an ocean, and I want to fight other things that were made in Besiege. Well, look no further, because the Last Leviathan, what?
I gotta say, it's called Besieged.
Besieged?
You're like, Besiege.
Besieged. Besieged?
Besieged.
Is it? Let's just make sure.
You don't.
No, it is Besiege. It is Besiege.
The G is harder. The G is harder.
Besiege? Whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Besiege. The Last Leviathan is the game that we're actually talking about. We don't even talk about that other game. It is a physics-based ship crafting and fighting game where you can build your own ships and fight other ships and other monsters. And it's currently asking for your money. It's $9.99 on Steam right now. What?
The fucking Last Leviathan. Fucking $9.99. Fuck it.
I'm actually just trying to do the... No one cares about Besiege. Whatever. Who cares? It's late. Are we gonna just start? Is this?
No, we're going. I got gameplay running right now.
Yeah. Oh, all right. The Last Leviathan. It's on early access. I think I've pretty much said everything. You can put like guns and sails and all this sort of stuff, and then you plop it in the water and hope that it floats. And you better make sure that it's even, or else you'll capsize and you get to shoot at other ships and.
I think it's a little bit more.
It's a little bit more in depth than that.
I think it's a little bit more in depth and better than Besiege.
You did get the basic mechanics down. Yes.
Well, yeah.
No, this.
That's what we're gonna call it from now on. Besiege.
I'm sorry. Okay, so yes, it does have
seizure is what you're having.
It does have that kind of build. Build your own boat and go on a rampage. It does have
mode.
But it also you do have monsters that are going to be in place. There's scavenging treasures you can find, all sorts of stuff that's going into this game. And it is a fairly large-scale game.
There's a survival mode coming soon, too.
Yeah, it's not just a, hey, quick build a ship and then get into combat. There is definitely going to be a lot about this game that is and will be possible. So
right now, they've got pirate battles that increase in difficulty. They've got versus modes within the so you can fight against Steam Workshop ships in your game. There are special events, multiplayer's coming soon. The survival voyage mode is coming soon, as well as racing events, dock sieges, survival battles, and a bunch of other stuff that they want to implement.
I gotta say, there has been a lot of stuff coming out of Europe lately that has just been absolutely ridiculously well done. And these guys, Super Punk Games out of Nottingham, England, have done a fantastic job.
If you didn't know, this is actually how British naval battles are fought. They also explode into Lego-like pieces.
Is that why they...
Do you remember that game we talked about? I'm pretty sure we talked about it not too long ago. Smashing Planets?
No.
No? We didn't talk about that as No, we didn't. Never mind.
We talked about Besiege.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Poor Tech's never going to live that down.
Oh, well, whatever. Fuck it.
But yeah, no, really good group. They've got a lot of experience under their belts, and I'm excited enough about this that I kind of went and just bought it on early access myself.
Yeah, if I could actually swing it, I'd buy it right now.
This reminds me a little bit of Captain Forever 2 and the whole scavenging part of it, like where you explode them and can take their parts. You can do that, right, in this game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is treasure in.
It's like 3D pixel piracy, almost.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It is actually 3D pixel piracy, except not the person management.
Not funny. Actually, I guess you could make it funny. You could probably make a dick boat.
I bet you it would be very easy to make a dick boat.
Currently, the person on the gameplay is making Mega Man, or has made.
Are you sure that's not the character from Mighty Number 9?
Yeah.
So Mega Man.
Because it doesn't.
Oh yeah, no, that totally wrong helmet. That is Mega Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to make sure the art was different so they wouldn't get astronomically sued. And Mega Man floats, which is great. But yeah, it is physics based as you're seeing in the gameplay footage right now. You need to make a ship that actually could operate as a ship. So
it takes a little bit of ingenuity. Did you already go over like the standard shit?
Not quite. It is by Super Punk Games, which sounds familiar, but
apparently wasn't.
Apparently isn't. Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. Most recently, they just updated the build on the 30th of June. They're keeping up to date with it. Like I said, it's $8.99 currently, $9.99. Usually, it is Windows only. And it is obviously early access, so all of the caveats and asterisks and stuff show up for that.
It will be on Mac and Linux during early access. They have said that Mac and Linux comes out while they're in early access.
Cool.
This week is like, man, fuck you to all you Mac and Linux people. That's basically because the other one's mobile, so it's not on there either.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of mobile.
Oh yeah,
are we going mobile?
We're going mobile.
Oh.
And this week on Going Mobile, we have a fantastic game from our good friends at Underbite Studios. We've talked about it kind of in passing on the show a couple of times. I was met them. I've been involved in the beta, and they finally released Heroes Guard: The Journal.
And let me tell you, before you go into this, I did sacrifice for this game because Rick pulled some beard hairs out at too many games last year.
That's right, I remember that.
A little part of me is in this game.
So this game, I have to say, I'm ridiculously impressed on the changes between the beta and the final playable version. There are a lot more features present, new classes, new weapons, etc., new stats, all sorts of stuff that was not in the beta. But basically, the gist of the story on this one is you're an old adventurer. You've done your time, and Sorsha says hi and bye. And so you're copying all this down into a journal to pass on to the younger generation, and it recaps your adventures going through from where you were found and how you became a guardian, and then moved on from there. It is ridiculously entertaining, relatively short. I'll give you that for the very first playthrough. I think you can hammer out a complete run of the basic story in about 20 minutes, give or take. But there is more to it than just that. And it kind of you haven't seen it thus far. We're still kind of in the account creation or the user creation, where you're checking out all your stats and all of that. But it tells through the story, and then once you start into actual combat, you go through kind of a CCG type environment. You get 3 cards drawn, and your enemy draws a card, and then you select a card to combat it, and then a dice roll gets compared to your to your stats, and then it kind of goes from there. It's really a lot of fun. And it's simplistic enough in terms of its in terms of the mechanics that even children should be able to play it. One of the things that I greatly appreciate about this, based on our feedback at Too Many Games, Rick went through and added a texture to the colors, I guess, because the cards have certain colors that correspond with certain things, and he's added stuff so that even me with my color blindness, I can tell exactly which cards would be best to use. So a really, really cool game. It's $3.99, I believe.
$3.99.
Because I purchased it, it no longer shows the price on the page. But yeah, $3.99. It's on iOS and Android at the moment, I believe.
Yes.
Confirm that.
Yes.
It is. Okay. But yeah, definitely worth the checkout, and especially at $4, come on, knock yourself out. And I will say I've logged probably 3 or 4 hours into the in the beta, and I'm more than likely going to be playing this in the full release, just so I can get all the variations. There's like 4 classes that you can be, different weapons, different magics.
So that first playthrough being a little bit shorter shouldn't deter anybody, because there's so much more game to it.
Yeah, and the
High
replayability is it's not procedurally generated per se, because every page that was written was actually written, so it tells a coherent narrative based on the adventures. But the adventures that you can go on, those are quasi procedurally generated. It'll also randomly select from these ones. And
speaking of, don't take our word for it, because it's also gotten very high ratings and comments and stuff like that on at least the Google Play page. It's a 4.8 out of 5, so that means 16 5 stars and 3 4 stars. Everyone's saying that they really, really enjoyed it. It's very good. They are not disappointed, because there are a lot of people that either played it in beta or have just been following it through its development through various conventions and things like that. So it's a good time all around. Good job, Rick.
Yeah,
Studios.
Congratulations for getting...
and maybe he'll do the CCG physical edition, because I know they had made one up for conventions, so maybe they'll eventually sell it. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I will also say the soundtrack screams medieval. Wait, let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah.
Because the gameplay's not going anymore, so you can show the phone if you want.
Let me get in here.
So long.
I'm sorry. I kind of started a new game.
So,
can you hear this?
Yeah, if you hold it close to your face. High quality from Indie Game Riot. Yeah, I can hear it.
Does that not just scream medieval?
Yeah. Did he do the music himself, you know?
I believe so. I believe they did, yeah.
You know what's really funny is that I remember that song from the beta.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that, and I'm like, it's bringing me back. I'm like, yes.
Puts me in a D&D mood.
Yeah, definitely.
I could see that. So, yeah, Heroes Guard, go check it out, guys. Underbite Studios.
In order to give you some more time, you can lull yourself to sleep while you're playing Heroes Guard. We'll go ahead and end the show, because it's about time to end the show. And Tech can go and learn how to pronounce besiege.
Whatever.
So
no, from now on, I'm never gonna say besiege. Right, ever again.
And never again. You're gonna be
Never
on like
again.
Jeopardy, and you're like, "What
Yeah,
is
Jeopardy.
this, Jeopardy?"
Passage.
Colbert, Besiege, Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
Jif. I'm gonna start calling them GIFs now.
Hey,
Just piss everybody off.
I'll kill you.
Soft J.
I'll kill you.
I couldn't do that.
I
couldn't.
you call them heaps.
Heaps.
All right. Well, you want more of this nonsense? You want us to create even bigger and better nonsense? Feel free to go to our Patreon page, become our patron. Patreon.com/Indie Game Riot. It all helps us go towards our goals, grows Indie Game Riot, Indie Revolution Expo. $1 more every month, really appreciated, and goes right back into the show at this point. So thank you for that consideration. Other ways that you can help is by contacting us. You can always go on hitbox.tv/JaShinYa and chat with us live every Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, usually, unless there's days like today. You can also go on Twitter at IGR Podcast or Facebook.com/IGR Podcast. And of course, there's always email, contact@IndieGameRiot.com. All this information and more, is on IndieGameRiot.com. Any last words, gentlemen?
You know, because we missed last week, episode 100 will not take place during IRX.
Nope. But we're still going to have to push it to 101 because that's our IRX recap episode.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to take another week
Yeah.
off. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm sorry about that last week, but it was going to run late and there were some personal things going on, so we just
Yeah.
were like,
It worked out.
Yeah. So,
A slow news week turned into a pretty
busy.
pretty
ass.
Massive
full
news
news
week.
2 week. Yeah.
Well, let's do this. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
See you next time, guys.
Have a good one, folks.
Toodle.